Hi everyone. I took a couple of days off and I had to kind of cut back on work a little bit because I got an ear infection and my throat was sore. So my voice was actually lower than it is now, if you can imagine that. So I wanted to talk today about something that is a very common question or comparison that my clients bring up, which is they will interchange the terms working and spell. Spells became super popular, lots of spell books out there once Wicca hit really big, and we all have those books or had those books at one time that had chapters and chapters and chapters of exactly what to do and exactly what words to say and exactly what candles to use, and those were never my thing. Wicca was never my thing. I never practiced that. I have read about it, but I've read about all religions. That's something I've always been interested in. I studied that in university. So this line of work was actually not a big leap for me because I already had a very intense connection with my spirituality. Plus, in an intellectual level, religion was always interesting to me. So I use the word working, and I don't know if anybody else uses that term. I have not. I hadn't heard that term until I started writing about the things that I do. I'm sure there's somebody out there in some other part of the country or some other part of the world using a term similar to that. But the reason I call them that, and the reason I don't do spells, is because I don't do anything that's pre-written. Every spell that you read in a book was written by somebody else. So there's no reason that you can't do that for yourself. So it's automatically going to be more tailored. It's going to be from your heart, and it's going to be involving the tools that you already have available to you. And you can tailor it to the deity or the spirit that you want to evoke or invoke for that particular session. So it's a very good thing to remember that everything you're reading in those books was just somebody else writing it. And honestly, that person may not have known what they were doing. They may have never actually tried that spell. It may have just been something they wrote from the book. They may not be that great of a practitioner. They may not be that great of a person. So be very leery about just opening a book and doing something out of it, because that doesn't necessarily deem that it's a great working or that it's a great spell. So especially if it hasn't been tried out. A lot of times I think these books are just compiled with dozens and dozens of spells, and I don't know if they've actually been tried. And when you do a working, you should be recording the results to see how that worked, what could have been tweaked, maybe what you felt was lacking, what parts you did wonderfully. So all those should be recorded so you can find out what is really working for you and where your particular skill set really is. So you can develop on that and make things work even better for you the next time. So I don't, another reason I don't care for spells is that they're constantly asking for something without giving anything in return. I never see an offering. Well, okay, I take that back. Not never. I rarely see an instance where there's an excerpt for what type of offering to leave being interjected in that spell. And that's something that is one of the first things that you prepare in a working. You always get your offering ready, whether it's as simple as just a glass of fresh water or a glass of wine, fresh herbs, fresh flowers from the store, from your garden, or if you want to get, if you want to start cooking things, which I do, that's a little further on. That's another thing I hope to share, actually, is some of my recipes for things that I cook for offerings. But that's for another time and another day. So your offering is first and foremost, because that shows that you're willing to put something out there in order to get something back. It's kind of like, do you ever have a really needy friend who's always coming over and needs a ride or needs $5 or, needs to go to the grocery store or needs to bum a cigarette or whatever, and that's all fine and good, but you know, after years and years of that, maybe you could kind of get a little worn out, and maybe you're not as happy to see them the next time they come over. So I feel like the spirits can get a little worn out with that too, if you're not willing to invest anything at all. It's important that you show, hey, I'm willing to put this little bit of work in. I picked these flowers for you. I picked out this wine for you. I baked this loaf of bread for you. I made a donation in your honor. I ran into a homeless man and I gave him, you know, the change I had in my pocket. Put out there the kind of a shade that you want to come back into your life. If you don't make a gesture that you're willing to give, I mean, it's reciprocal. The universe may not be willing to give you anything in return if you can't take that first step and put out there the type of energy that you want to receive and put yourself on that same wavelength of giving and generosity and accepting. So yeah, I'm trying to keep the videos a little short here so people don't get bored with them. I'm trying to keep them at about 6 minutes, and we're past. So thanks for watching, and I'll touch more on this later. And I hope y'all have a blessed day, and share the video, find me on Facebook, visit the website. Yep, talk to you soon. Bye.